Hi everyone, it's Nisha here. How are you doing? Hope you're having a fantastic day. So today is day 23, and today I wanted to answer somebody's question with regards to where do we get our outsourcer. So in the last couple of videos, I've been talking about outsourcing. Sorry, so I've been talking about outsourcing a lot of the tasks within your business. So you are not bogged down in doing those, and you can focus more on income generating tasks. Now, how do you outsource and where do you outsource? Now, we've gone through the list of some of the tasks that you could outsource, and there's a long list of that, but let's just say email management, dealing with your bookings, all your inquiries, your customer service side, your bookkeeping side, general operation side. So if you put all these as just a few that you can focus on for just this video, you'll need to be able to recruit the right person that can actually do all those different tasks for you. Now, I generally outsource outside the UK just because I can get reasonably good staff at a reasonable rate per hour. Now, you know, if you're looking for somebody in the UK, they might be really good, but the rate will be slightly higher. But if you're looking for somebody outside, it might be a lot cheaper. I mean, depends on, obviously, depends on the conversion between dollars and pound, which obviously at the moment is not the greatest. But if you're recruiting somebody from the outside and you're paying in dollars, might be a slight benefit to your business, or it might be slightly cheaper than using somebody from the UK. Obviously, if you're starting your startup, you want to try and maximize where you can on your profit, or minimize where you can on your expenses. So looking for staff outside the UK is most probably the right thing to do when you're starting, especially if they're going to free up your time and you can spend more time working on tasks that are more income generating. Now that you know what tasks you can outsource, where do you actually go to outsource them? So there are a couple of platforms out there that you can, there's actually a lot of them, but the one that I've used and I can talk about is Fiverr.com, Upworks, Online Job, and you can go by onlinejob.ph, which is for Philippines, which is where I do tend to recruit quite a lot of staff as well. So you can have staff pretty much across the whole world at a discounted rate compared to what you would be paying in the UK. Now, I do have staff that we hire within UK, freelancers that we pay at normal UK rate for some of the jobs. But for some of the jobs that we can outsource outside the UK, we would rather do that. You may be looking at paying anything between $3-4 an hour to about maybe $6-7 an hour, depending on the task, obviously. Anything more specific, so apart from admin, so let's say more specific in terms of, I don't know, accountancy or legal advice, you might be paying a lot more than just a general admin, which is starting from about $3-4 an hour. And obviously, you're paying them directly, which is great, because they're getting most of the income. If you're using an online travel agent, they're going to be paying commission and you're going to be paying a commission on it. So you need to be aware of that. So how do you actually recruit them? There's the different ways of doing it. So for example, you could use this agency where you're paying them by hour. You get a commission paid and they get a commission deducted from what you're paying them. And that could be one way of doing it. Or you can use an agency where you pay them a fee and then they just recruit and you're paying them the staff the whole amount. Now, which way you go, it depends on you, really. You can also advertise for the job and let hundreds, if not thousands of people contacting you about the job. Now, obviously, this can be quite time consuming. So I would suggest you think really hard in terms of how you're going to manage that process, because the last thing you want is having hundreds of people applying and you just don't have the time to get back to them and even go through the selection criteria. So where possible, try and avoid doing that. Or just go through the other option is to go through the profile of different people and select a few people that you want to ask them to apply for the job. So you can do that as well. I've noticed that from Fiverr, you have a lot of contractors, but they're not necessarily the highly qualified one. And from upwards, you're going to have slightly better qualified staff. But again, the commissions are going to make it as interesting as you maybe just using an agency, paying an agency fee, and then you can ensure that you're paying the staff, they're getting most of it, because you're not paying commission, they're not paying commission, so they're getting the most of it. So you can use that method as well. So these are the things that you can do, and places where you can go to outsource. I would say you need to start outsourcing as soon as possible. It's only a matter of time before you start getting sucked into doing more admin tasks within your business, because it's much harder for you to delegate. Once you've got a lot on your plate, it's much easier to gradually start delegating as things become a little bit busy, because the worst place you want to be is you've got 100 of tasks to delegate, but you don't actually have the time to spend with somebody to actually properly delegate it to them. So what you could consider doing is just making sure you do have a SOP, standard operating manual. So you can just have that ready as you are growing. It's standard operating procedure, but it's a manual to kind of show people what to do with specific tasks, or what they can do or can't do. So it's almost saying, if you get this booking, this is what you need to do, blah, 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 blah. So your standard operating procedure will help with your training, and I would say start doing it as day one, because it's much, much, much harder. And I've learned that from a very difficult place to do it afterwards, because it is just more difficult when you've already got all your standard procedures in place, but you've not documented it from one, and now you've got 100 in place. It's much harder to kind of sit down and document all of them. So I hope you have found this useful. And if you have, please give me a like and just let me know what you'd like to cover on the next topic, and I'll be more than happy to do that. Have a fantastic day, everyone. Take care. Bye.